Hello and good afternoon. Perfection is not achieved when there is nothing more to add, but rather it is achieved when there is nothing more to take away. With these inspiring quotes, let us begin our journey with an introduction to the world of competitive coding that will give us a chance to explore our field of interests. Mozilla Firefox Club presents to you with a series of pre-Morse code events. As our first session on Introduction to Competitive Coding, we have a guide, Mr. Abhinav Awasthy, who is a DSA mentor at Geeks for Geeks. So before starting the session, sir, I wanted to ask you something. I wanted to know how and when you started your journey in the field of competitive coding.
Hi, Eamon. First of all, thanks for inviting me. So, if you talk about competitive programming, my journey in competitive coding, so it's like that when I was in my first year, and then some of my seniors and my basically coding club of my college organized a CP contest on CodeSafe, and with that contest, I started my competitive programming journey. After that, there was a quite great means I was not so regular and consistent in CP, but in the last semester of the means in the second semester of the first year, I was something I got something interest in computer programming, and after that I started it in a regular way and consistently.
Okay, so I hope Mr. Abhinav's guidance would spark an interest in each one of you towards competitive coding. So over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, thanks, Hemant. Okay, so if we talk about competitive programming, competitive coding, so it's more about people think that it's like a subject you have to learn. It's like a topic. It's like a subject in your semester. It's not something like that. Competitive coding is a thing which requires your regularity, which requires your interest. If you have interest in that, then only you can just improve in that particular field. If we talk about what is competitive programming, that's many of you may have many doubts regarding that. At what is competitive programming? As maybe some of you will say that competitive programming is something called DSA. It is a subject. It is a thing which is required for placement. It is a thing which is required for placement at top product-based companies. But competitive programming is far away than that. It's okay that competitive programming is important uh, for placement in companies. CP is just like a mind sport. For example, if I ask you that maybe some of you play chess, okay, maybe some of you have interest in chess, you love chess, okay. So what does chess will? Chess will not help you directly to achieve your job. Okay, so when we have chess competitions in our college and something that it doesn't help in our academics directly, but sometimes when you are doing very good in chess, then that is what helps you in your thinking ability and your problem solving. That is what competitive programming is. Okay, so as it is written here that CP is a mind sport usually held over the internet or a local network. Coders race each other to solve the most algorithmic problems with a limited time. So if I talk about competitive programming, so competitive programming basically tells us three things, which are the most important things in the RAS scenario. The first thing is how you can complete a task in limited time. As it is written, that we have there's a race between each other, how one can solve the most algorithmic problem within a limited time. This is the first thing that is what competitive programming tells us. Okay, how you can basically solve and complete your task in a limited time. That is the first thing which competitive programming teaches us. Okay. The second thing is the second how to handle your pressure means, for example, when we have coding rounds. Okay, you all will appear for interviews. You all will appear for jobs at different companies at Google, Microsoft, Amazon, the top product-based companies. They all have multiple coding rounds. Tech round one, tech round two, then you have interviews. Okay, the time when you have interview, when you have coding round, there are some two or three problems, and you have to solve that problem in a time duration of some 1 hour or 1.5 hours. Okay, And this is exactly similar what CP is. In CP also we have competitive contest. Okay, in that contest we have some questions and we have to solve that questions in a limited given time. And if we are able to solve them, that means that yeah, we are just having a particular time. And that is similarly what we have in coding contest. So if you are appearing for a coding contest in your third year or in your fourth year, and if you are doing competitive programming from your first year or let's say from your second year, then maybe you have solved, let's say that you have participated in some 50 contests, in some 50 coding contests, in some 50 competitive programming contests. So you have the experience of 50 CP contests, and when you will at the last will appear for your exact coding round, maybe of any company, then that will be not your first round. That will be your 51st round for you, because you have already appeared in 50 coding rounds, coding competitions. So it gives us an experience how we can uh, how we can basically do it for ourselves, how we can improve in that. This is how CP tells us. So the first thing was obviously the limited time, the pressure handling, how we are just solving a problem in a limited time gives us a speed experience that at the last when we will appear for a coding round, then that will be very easy for us to tackle. Okay, so this is something which we have to, which CP tells us. The third and the most important point, which is also written here, they are all about your algorithm, problem solving ability, data structure knowledge, and implementation skills. For example, if you will join a company, let's say that you have joined Amazon. Okay, so what does they ask? What does they want from your side? It's okay. They will say that you have to code in a particular language. Okay, you have to code in a particular language. You have to uh, basically work in a particular project. But eventually, what you are doing problem solving for their company. Okay, this is a thing that you are doing problem solving at their company. You are solving their problems. Getting this is what CP tells you. In CP2, in competitive programming, you are solving DSA problems or let's say CP specific problems. So you are doing problem solving, na? And that too in a limited time, in a limited place of honor. Getting this is what you have to do. So it improves your problem solving ability, your time, your logical, your thinking ability, your DSA skills. This all is included in a single package, which is competitive programming. This all is included in a single package. Okay. So that is why I say that, yeah, if you are doing CP, then DSA, then the coding rounds are something easy for you. Getting. So this is the main aim for competitive programming, which basically I recommend students to do CP because of this thing. This will help you a lot in different ways in different things. So yeah, the 3 points, it will increase your problem solving thinking ability. It will give you a environment where you can have where you have to practice in a limited time in a particular speed. You should not be slow, you should not be very fast. Okay, that you are doing mistakes. It's like, and also one more thing, that it also tells you that how you are thinking and how is your concentration. Means it's like that in CP we also have this thing that you have to solve a problem with less wrong submissions. Okay. For example, if I am solving a problem, okay, before finding the correct solution, I have done 4 wrong submissions. Okay, and that happens in a real life too. Okay, we do some wrong things, and on the basis of that, we learn. And next time, if that same scenario happens, then we have something that yeah, that scenario has been done to me, and this was the thing I've done wrong. So आप दोबारा वो चीज repeat नहीं करोगे. That is what CP tells us. अगर आपने if you have solved some 1,000 problems in a particular coding platform, and let's say out of the 1,000 problems, means at least a one problem, even if one problem is there in the coding round, it will certainly help you because you have experience in that. You know that what are the difficulties you have done at that time when you were solving. Getting. So this is how competitive programming helps you in a better way, and how this is how it is important for us. Okay, fine, guys. Just a +1 in the chat if you are getting the session. Just a +1, and we will just move forward with the next slide. Okay. So, which is why competitive programming? So the answer for why competitive programming, I've already discussed this thing, that why competitive programming should be there and why we need. The first thing is you will become a better, more efficient, and less error-prone coder. Okay. So these are some fancy names. Just don't go for it. The main thing is you will become a better, more efficient means, as I told you. If what CP tells us, you have to solve a problem in less time, in a limited time, in a fast way, without any wrong submission or with less wrong submissions. Means you have to make all the observations in a single problem, in a single step. Okay, so this is what we have to do. Now, if we talk about that, how basically we can do this thing. So TP is what tells us about it makes us better. How? Because we are coding in that scenario. It makes us more effective. It makes us less error prone. This is what I have discussed in the last slide also. Better, more effective, and less error prone coder. Okay. Your technical programming interviews will be a piece of cake. Exactly. So if you are a good competitive programmer, if you have a good rating, if you have a good rating in different platforms, at the last, when you will appear for a coding round, as I told you, then that will be not for a very high pace for you. It will not like that you will have so much nervousness or something like that. I have a code. Yes, there will be nervousness. Obviously, means in a coding in a real coding round of a company and a CP round, there are differences. But then also you will have some practice now. For example, if I talk about my experience, so sometimes so there's a very clear thing that if there are three problems in a coding round, so first you have to solve that problem which is easy or which you knows about that. Maybe you have solved a similar problem before that and something like that. Because of this thing only, many of the students have difficulty in coding round. They sometimes try to attempt those problems which are more difficult, which they cannot solve, but they are trying that. They are wasting their time there instead of doing a good problem. Getting it? So this is what we have to do. Fine. Now, if we talk about the next thing, which is something like key, yeah, this problem thing only. But if we take, for example, if I just take my example, so recently I've appeared for ICPC regionals or prelims. Okay, in ICPC prelims too, we are just three team members, and we were having some 6 or 7 problems in our contest. Out of the 6 problems, we were able to solve some 4 problems. Okay, there was a problem, fifth one, which was quite easy than the another problem. If we have first attempted that problem, then maybe we can solve that, and then maybe we were able to solve 5 problems. But because our you can say the format or the order from which we have solved problem was not so correct, and that is why we were not able to solve the 5 problem. Okay, then also it was a good round for us. Okay, so this is what we have to do. And again, the next thing, you will increase your problem solving ability. That will help you solve, design, implement difficult real life programming problems and algorithms in the future. The DSA algorithms, I will not say CP algorithms. CP is not a thing. CP is just solving DSA problem. Okay, I always say, if we talk about DSA algorithms, okay, which we do in CP, and basically the problems of competitive programming, which you will see on Coursera, which you will see on Code Forces, are something similar to the real life. What we have in a real life, it's just something similar to the real life problems. For example, in CP, we have that you have a map of your city, and you have to find the minimum distance between the hospital and your house. So, what will the minimum distance? What will the path you will choose so that you can reach the hospital in less time? Okay, minimum shortest path. I hope you know about these type of algorithm, maybe. So, this is all which we implement in real life too. There are so just can anyone tell me some real life examples of DSL algorithms? Some real life example of DSL algorithms? Any type of or algorithms or some data structures, real life example of some data structures, how they work, and any algorithms which you know? Some real life of the examples. So if we talk about graphs, so in graphs too, we have Google Maps. Okay, we have different maps. They all are just implemented using graphs. Okay, we have different nodes, different places, and we have to find the shortest distance between 2 nodes, or you can say 2 places. There also an algorithm is implemented. Graph is used. If we talk about a queue, we have a queue data structure too. Priority queues, exactly. We have priority queues as a great. So this is what we have. Okay, so this is a real life implementations, how we use algorithms in a real life too. And that is why it's very important to use. Now you will ask, sir, eventually when we join a company, then we have to do development. Obviously, we have to develop apps for them. We have some different things. Okay, maybe in the field of web development, maybe in the field of machine learning, in the field of cloud computing, there are multiple fields. But why companies want DSA? Why companies want that your data is just and I will not say CP. CP is not so mandatory, but yeah, DSA is mandatory. So DSA is required. So it is required because currently there are different technologies like React, Angular, MERN stack is currently there, Mini stack, MERN stack. Some 5-10 years before there was HTML5. There was other technologies there. PHP was used. Now Django is used. After some 5-10 years, a new technology will be there. You can see that Web3 is currently growing and different types of things are growing. So technologies are changing. But the thing which is not changing is data structures, the algorithms. That is something same. That is what top tech companies want, that your DSA skill should be same. It should be good getting. So this is the basic need of DSA, and to obviously to explore to excel DSA, we need competitive programming. Doing competitive programming is a very efficient way, is a better way to excel DSA data structural skills. Okay. Your win prizes, trips, and places around the world as you complete with meet other motivated, smart. Exactly. This is also a thing that. So this is side I think is not visible. My camera is in front of that. It is just written that uh, when you will appear in coding contests, okay, when you will just excel in competitive programming, you will have your own. You will have your own, let's say, own rating, your own standing in a particular list that yeah, I am at this particular rank in this particular platform. And you will get a chance to also meet people around the world. Basically, I have, because I am also something of in that field, in influencer field. I have contacted with many people who are good computer programmers, some people who are doing job at great companies, and recently we have ICPC regionals at Bangalore. I will go there and probably I will meet some of the good computer programmers there too. And obviously that is a thing of motivation to us. That motivates us. That a particular person is doing great in this field, in this CP field. So why should I not? I cannot do that. I will also do that thing. Now. That will also motivate us, and that is the reason how why I am improving and why people improve. That is how they motivate from others. Okay, if a particular person is above you in a particular field, okay, it is above. It's not a bad thing. But why you are not there, or why you are not doing that thing? That thing is what CP builds in us. If in this contest I have secured a rank of 100 and a person has secured a rank of 50, why he is how he is ahead of me? I should also be there. That is what pushes up to improve more. Getting this is why competitive programming is important. Okay, fine. Now, if we talk about the next slide, the thing is how to get started. So obviously, so we have learned that what is competitive programming, why competitive programming is important. Now, obviously, next thing, how we can get started with the competitive programming thing, building block. Okay. For competitive programming, there are some things which are required. Okay. So maybe you will say that many people ask, many students ask me, sir, that before doing competitive programming, we need to complete a DSA. Okay. So many of you have doubts that, sir, before completing, before starting competitive programming, we have to do DSA, data structural algorithm. We have to complete it, but that's not a truth. Completing data structural algorithm is not important because we cannot complete data structures. Yeah, we cannot complete DSA in a one flow. It requires a lot of time. The only prerequisite for competitive programming is that you should have your good problem. So you should have a good syntax knowledge of different languages. If you can say that if you are doing in C++, if you are doing in Java or Python, you should know the basic syntax. If I talk about syntax, it's like input output, basic operators, conditions. That is what is needed only, and sometimes some other libraries too. Some other libraries of DSA on of competitive programmings only. Like for example, in C++ we have STL, in Java we have different libraries, in Python we have NumPy and different libraries. That is what is required. If we talk about C++, is the most popular language for for competitive programmers. The reason behind that is has a better syntax, has a short syntax, and C++ is something fast than other programming languages. That is why for competitive programming, C++ is something which is most used. And also the community of competitive programmers are 80 to 90% in C++ only. That is why people choose C++ for competitive programming. Okay, great. Now we talk about algorithms. Yeah. So obviously, select your learning preference, study algorithm, plenty of available materials in textbook. Remember, these are some theory things. Let me just tell you about that in brief. That if you are doing competitive programming, obviously, if you have to solve some problem, you should know algorithms now. If there is a problem in CP which is asking you for the minimum path between two CPs, so you should know about the minimum path problem, obviously. So this is the thing that you should have the knowledge of algorithms, and that algorithmic knowledge, that knowledge is used in the CP context in the different problems to solve them. That is what we basically have in competitive programming. I will basically recommend you that you have to do data structure algorithms and CP simultaneously. Here you will learn DSA, and here you can practice DSA. So CP is a way how you can practice DSA problem, how you can practice in a better way. That is what CP eventually is. Okay, getting fun. So now compete. Exactly. There is no substitution for real competition and the time crunch and pressure that comes with it. As I told you, that when you will compete in a real time environment, okay. If I will just tell you that yeah, solve 100 problems, you will just say okay, I have to solve 100 problems. I just solving. Yeah, I have solved 100 problems. Okay. If I will say you have to compete with that particular person. He is doing better than you. If you have that spirit in you, you will surely compete with that particular person. And for that, maybe you, if 1,000 problems are required, and you will be able to solve 1,000 problems. That is what the competition spirit should be there, and that is what the name is competitive programming. As the name suggests, you have to, and competition is very important in all the fields. I basically feel that thing, so that is why CP is important. Okay, so gives us a platform. It gives us a where we can showcase our skills, and that means basically I am doing CP from my first year, from my first year only, and before that I was just doing Java and with some DSA problems, and then I started CP. And whatever I have, just like my internship, and that all is just because of CP only. So for me, it was a good thing that I have choose with CP and I've started with that. I got an interest in that. That's the most obvious thing, that you have to get interest in that. And then if you have got interest, then it is something that is okay, fine. This is how we can get started with the competitive programming thing. Now we talk about the resources. So for resources thing, if we just there are the whole internet, the whole Google is just filled with the resources for DSA and competitive programming. There are hundreds of websites. There are some 5 to 10, 8 websites written here, but there are hundreds of websites. Okay, where competitive programming is there. Okay, where we can participate in competitive programming platforms where there are different resources. Okay, websites like Geeks for Geeks, Stack Overflow, and Hacker Rank. They are just filled with their discussion session with thousands, lakhs of resources for each and every DSA topic, for each and every CP topic. You have to just search for the name and you will get the topic. Yes, now it's very easy. It's not like was some 2 3 years before that Corona period. Before that Corona period, the things were more offline. Means the interviews were going offline, the hiding were going offline, and mostly the hackathons and the things were offline. But now everything is online only, and also we have everything present in our internet. This is my laptop. I have to just uh, search for a particular topic name, and I can see, and I will just see everything about that. I have to just search for the topic name. Okay, so it is a very current scenario. We have everything in our Google. If we talk about the top competitive programming websites. So majorly websites we have. I basically code in. If I talk about myself, I code in CodeChef and CodeForces. So currently, I am a five-star code chef and expert at code forces. Okay. So these are two major websites where basically I code, and I think that these two websites are enough if you're a competitive programmer. Because giving too much context and just confuse between different websites is also not a good option. You can continue with top coder. You can continue with other platforms like HackerRank and different. That is okay. I'm not basically promoting any platform. I basically do in code forces and code step, and there are different platforms for that. Okay. The thing is that you can just stick to one or two platforms and try to solve as many questions you can, and try to be regular and consistent. There are two very important words for CP and DSA too, that is regularity and consistency. You should be consistent. It's not like that you have just a break of 5 to 10 days. You are not solving problems. You are not giving contests. Currently, I have a break. I having break because I have some other works to do also. So I am solving problems obviously because that work also includes solving problems. I am solving problems, but I am not able to give contests. But because currently I am okay, means I have secured and I have to improve. Obviously, I have to improve. But yeah, sometimes there have breaks. You have some work, you have your exams, you have some other works. That is okay. But when you want to improve, when you are, there's a need to improve. Now you wanted, I have to become five-star, I have to become expert, and that's just don't think about rating. Just think about I have to achieve, I have to practice, and it will surely help me to get into that particular rating. Be consistent, be regular. If you will just check my graph, you can check out my code forces profile. In the last 1 year, just ignore the last 2 months, and before that, in the last 1 year, I've appeared in 90% of the contest. It was a very major case, maybe when there's a festival or I'm very busy. In that case only, I have not appeared in any contest. Otherwise, I have appeared in each and every contest of code forces and code step. Okay, so that is the way, that is what helped me basically to improve in a better way. Okay, so this is the thing which are required basically for this thing. Okay, great. Now, so yeah, similarly, so what we this is what we have. So these are some platforms. If we talk about the resources thing, for resources we have different platform, like we have uh, USAC guide also for is specifically for competitive programming. You have these for geeks, which has a lot of content. You have HackerRank, which have exclusive content, and you have that Code 7, Code Forces platforms too. You have in HackerRank there are too much questions. I have not. Yeah, Top Code is amazing, another amazing website. I think that it's paid. Lead Code is an amazing website which is required, which is for especially for DSA. And Code Wars is again a good website for practicing problem and for this thing. So yeah, obviously this will help you a lot for improving, and these are the different platforms which will help you to improve. Okay, great. Now we talk about the process, how the process of this CP looks like. Okay, so obviously, mostly competitions consider you have to solve the highest number of questions in the least amount of time as the winners. Okay, so you have to solve more problems in less time. That is what CP is, and that is what life is. You have to solve more problems in less time. Okay. Everyone receives a problem set. Each one has to submit its solution to be evaluated. So if you will appear for a coding contest, so you will receive a problem or some number of problems. Let's say 4 or 5 problems will be there, and then you have to just start solving that problem. Okay, you will have, it's not like that you will just able to solve the problem in a once. You have to submit a solution. Maybe you will got wrong answer, you will got some MLE TLE. There are different other errors also you will get, that are runtime errors, that sometimes you have wrong answer, that the code which you are submitting is not giving the right answer, your code is wrong. Sometimes you have time limit exceeded, means the code you are writing is something of slow. For example, if you all uses Google Map, so Google Maps map hardly takes 2 seconds, at most 2 seconds or 3 seconds for finding distance between two locations. To finding the shortest distance between two locations. That is what it takes. Hardly 2 or 3 seconds. Okay. For example, if Google Map takes 5 minutes for just finding the just one distance between two positions. Is this it will be possible for you? आप यूज ही ना करते, फिर in 5 minutes तो मैं किसी से पूछ के चला जाऊँ why I will use Google Map. So the thing is, it's not about just writing code. It's about writing an efficient code, a clean code that uses less time, that is accurate, that uses less memory, everything. Similarly, as for time also, we also have to talk about memories. We will have doubt session at the last, Adit. Okay, so we will discuss all your doubt at the last time. So this is what we have in this process, in this thing. And again, you need to build a strategy, identify the problems, analyze the solution, check extreme cases to get the optimal solution. As I told you, that just finding the solution is not a thing, is not a case in cognitive programming. It's not like, obviously, if you have to do a task, there are multiple ways to perform that task. Okay. Obviously, but you will choose the most efficient one ना. आप सबसे आसान तरीका ढूंढोगे. That will make less costly, that will is less costly and less complex for you. Similarly, there are different solutions to solve a problem, but you will search for that solution, solution which is optimal, uses less complexity, is less costly, and for that you have to build a specific strategy. How you have to approach a problem, how you have to solve a problem, how you have to approach for the logic which is behind that problem, and this is what you have to do for that. Now you will ask, sir, how we can improve this thing, how we can analyze the solution, how we can build this strategy. That is what experience will teach you. There is no course in this currently which will teach you how you can build that strategy. That is only a part of experience, your practice, your hard work. If you practice more, that will help you to build this type of ability, this type of skills. Okay, that is what it will help you. So this is how the process looks like, and this is how the process is that you have to. So there are different contests organized by different companies. So top product-based companies basically promote competitive programming, and that's the reason why they organize different contests every year. For example, if we talk about Google, Google organizes some three coding contests, CP contests every year. One is Kickstart. So Kickstart is a contest which is in some from A to H. There are some rounds of Kickstart, and we have to basically we can participate in all that rounds. Okay, so that is what we have for Google. Google also introduces Code Jam. Google has Code Jam for that. Okay, and if we talk about if you will appear, if you will perform good in these coding competitions, then you can also get a offer from Google or other companies for job at their place. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about Facebook, Facebook organizes Facebook Hacker Cup. That is the annual coding competition of Facebook. It was just, I think, organized a month ago. Yeah. And similarly, if we talk about the other competition, we have ICPC. ICPC is International Coding Olympiad like thing. Okay. And in which coders from all over India participate, all over world participate in that. So there was prelims. I think last 2 weeks there was a prelims, ICPC prelims, and next month in October we have ICPC regionals, and in November, December we will have ICPC finals. So these are some coding content. Other than this, we have different contests organized in different platforms. We have contests at Code Forces. Sometimes there are global rounds, educational rounds, or normal Code Forces rounds. We have Code Chef contests. We have starters. We have lunchtime. We have cook or something lunchtime. Starters. There's one more cook time, I think, or cook off. It's cook off. Fine. So these are some contests there. We have lead code contest. We have geeks for geeks contest. There are different things which we have to do basically. Fine. So this is what we have there. Now, tips to be better. So obviously we have some tips. So that I've just written here to be better in competitive programming. Okay, and after this we will have a thing of doubt session. We will just discuss some doubt with you. Okay. As I told you, the two words. The first is consistency. Second is regularity, and there are two words which are also involved in these points. The first is participate continuously in competitions on CodeChef, HackerRank, HackerAt, CodeForces, Lead Code different. They all have their own scenario. So, as I told you that participating in contest is very important. That has a very good significance. We will have that, Somadeep. There is important of CP. If we talk about placements, there is important. We will discuss everything in doubts session. Okay, we'll discuss all your doubts. Yeah, so we have to participate continuously in competitions. That is only will help you if you just participate in a contest. Then you will take break of some 10 days. After that, you will again participate. That will not help you. You have to be like regular, and around there are some 2 to 3 contests per week. In if we add code 7 code forces, I'm not saying you to give all the content, but at least 2 contests per week is important if you are willing to be good in competitive programming. So you should at least appear for 2 contests per week. Okay, maintain consistency, learn from each question. So you have to maintain consistency means when we talk about the consistency thing, it's not only about giving context, it's also about the up solving the problem. You have to learn from each question. For example, you have appeared for a coding contest, and in that contest, uh, you have encountered a problem which you were not able to solve that at that particular time. Okay, so it's not like that. If you are not able to solve the problem at that time, then you should attempt that problem after the contest. That is called up solving. Up solving is very important if you are doing competitive programming. If you are willing to be good in that, so if you want expertise in that, if you want to excel in that, you should do up solving. You should try that question which you are not able. Don't just skip them. Always try that question. Once you are confident in your ability to answer simple problems, even you are outside of a comfort zone, attempt the more challenging ones. Exactly. That's the most important. That's the most important thing. Okay. Just move outside your comfort zone. If I am able to solve problems of 1500, 1600 rating, now I am a 1600 expert coder. So obviously I am able to solve that level of problems. So I have to move up. If I am an expert and I am just solving problems of difficulty 1300, 1400, then that will not help me. That will not help me. But only this type of thing will help me. That if I am at that particular level, let's say if I am at level uh, 1300, 1400, if you are a pupil, if you are an expert or at any level, you have to solve problems above that level, above that difficulty, so that you should improve na, so that you can improve. अगर आप वहीं बैठ के रहोगे, you are just solving the easy problems, easy. Go for medium, go for hard. Then only you will improve. Improvement is very important. Okay. To fully utilize libraries, tools, documentation, reading in a language is used. So exactly, you have to fully utilize the libraries, tools, and documentation. So a good knowledge of a programming language which you are using for competitive programming is very important. So knowledge of a programming language, a good knowledge of that is basically very important. If you talk about the CP thing and DSA thing too, means if you are coding in C++, and if you even don't know the complete STL, then there is no thing for that. Means at least if you are doing C++, you should know STL. Or similarly for other programming languages too. Getting it? So this is what you have to do here. Means it's like obviously if you are doing in C++, you should know everything about C++, because you are moving one step above that programming thing. We have programming language, we have syntax of that. Above that we have DSA, and above that we have competitive programming. So you are moving one step above. So obviously before stepping upwards, you have to complete your past things, past steps. Okay? You have to excel that. If you want to be good at competitive programming, get ready to learn some maths, since the discipline is all about problem solving and closely tied to aptitude algorithm. Coding, and I'm not saying just competitive programming, the complete coding is just maths. According to me, whatever we code, it's just math. Okay. We have algorithms, we have things, they all just include maths. We have a different topic known as number theory, combinators, probability, bit manipulation. This all is math. This all is math. So if I will just say you 50 to 70% of coding, DSA or competitive programming is just maths. You have to think, observe the pattern, and then implement it. And then the rest part is coding and implementation. Okay. आपको एक बार STL नहीं आता होगा. Maybe you can use other methods. Maybe you don't know the STL functions like sort, sub-str. You can implement your own sorting and str algorithm. That is okay. But if you don't know maths, how you can observe, how you can solve that thing, then that will basically not help you to solve the problem. So math is a thing which is important there, obviously. Learn when and how to use STL library. This will increase your development and enable you to skip over irrelevant tasks using building functions. Exactly. So obviously, if we have built-in functions, if we have functions like sort, if we have other functions, so we should use them now. Why should we not use them? So we have that function. Okay. Now, if we talk about the things as it is written, you should know when and how to use. Okay. There are hundreds of algorithms. There are hundreds. There are multiple data structures. There are hundreds of inbuilt functions in STL or other inbuilt functions. But when you will encounter a problem, it will not say that use binary search here, use try here, use BFS here, use BFS here. It will not tell you. You have to analyze. You have to know that when which topic you have to basically which algorithm you have to use there, and that is what appears. That is what only possible if you are able to think that thing. If you are able to think what algorithm, what process we have implemented that particular problem, that is what will help you. And this is what is a result of consistency, practice, and your hard work. इसका कोई भी कोर्स नहीं होता है. I will say you that in this type of problem, binary search लगाओ. There are some cases. Yeah, in this type, whenever the array is sorted, you can use binary search or two pointers. Okay, when we have to find the parent node, we can use DSU. When we have to find the distance, we can use DFS. That is okay. Okay. When we have to find a connected component, we can use BFS. That is completely okay. For some problems, we have this thing. That this algorithm is for this particular thing, but not for every time. Okay. You have to analyze that in a particular problem, हमें क्या करना चाहिए, which is better, and when and how. This is exactly when and how. कब और कैसे हमें उस particular STL library या किसी भी inbuilt function use करना है. That is very important for competitive programming. Okay. So yeah, that is from my side about competitive programming. Now the time for your doubts. So, okay. What is the importance of CP if we talk about regarding placements? Yeah. So CP is important if we talk about placements thing, because as I told you that CP will help you to excel, or basically it will help you. It is just a type of practice which you will do in a coding contest. Okay, which you will do in a coding round. If you are giving coding contests regularly, then obviously that will help you in a real coding round. And that is why CP is helpful. And that is why you will see that whoever the top CP programmers are in a big companies. Is CC enough for getting placed in good company, or we should also look at other domains like web? Okay, so it's again like CP versus dev. Okay, I'm saying eventually you have to do development in a company. There are fields like this only. You will not use DFS, BFS, binary search in your job. Okay, but obviously that is what company are wanting. In each and every job listing of good companies, they have DSA skills in their job posting, in their requirements, and DSA is directly proportional to competitive programming. So because maybe after getting in a company, that is not so required, but to get in a company, and the reason I've already told you that why companies are not hiring on the basis of technologies, because technologies are changing day by day. They are hiring on the basis of DSA. Okay, and obviously if you are good in development too, I am not saying that don't do development. Development is also important. If you are aiming for any startup, for internships, development is very important. Development is also important. Okay, but yeah, CP is too, because CP will improve your DSA skills and your problem solving. So you have to handle both the things. Next, please. According to you, what is the appropriate approach to solve a problem? To solve a problem, first of all, you have the thing is that understand that problem in a good way. Sometimes people have doubt in the problem itself. First of all, understand it in a good way. Then try to analyze that what will be the brute force solution of it, how we can just solve in a brute force way. After that, if you will have got the brute force approach, then go towards the most optimized one. But how I can optimize that thing. Okay. And then you can just go on the implementation, how can I implement that, optimize the approach and something like that. If you're not getting the problem, you can refer it to this. It's okay. Next one, please. What is the importance of maths in CP? So the importance of maths in CP, as I told you, that CP is more about maths. We have mathematical algorithms. All the algorithms is something like maths is inbuilt there. Okay, we have uh, different topics like number theory. We have combinators. We have bit manipulation. This all is maths only. So maths is very important in computer programming. It's not about that maths. Don't go for calculus like that. I'm learning calculus, trigonometry. No, CP specific maths. There are some CP specific topics like prime numbers, factors, factorials, and as I told you, bit manipulation. These are some topics that are important in CP. Okay, trigonometry na padna. What is the importance of CP if we talk regarding placements? Yeah. So this is I think we have taken this problem. For placements, it's important. How can practicing on website like lead code to be exact? This is very helpful. Means if you are practicing lead code and hacker rank, eventually you will be happy having your coding round in hacker rank only. So recently I have seen many coding rounds and I have appeared in some of them, and mostly of them are in hacker rank only. So if you are practicing in that and you have a coding round in that platform too, that will be good for you. Na? That you will have experience in that platform. It is obviously helpful. What is the importance of DSA and approach to it? I've told you about that. Okay. After getting a placement or an internship, how does the skill of CP help us? Exactly. These are both a similar topic. That importance of DSA मैंने बता दिया क्या है, and proper approach मैंने बताया how you can start first the basics one and then you have to continue. Okay. पहले basics start करना है. After getting a placement or job internship, how does the skills of CP help us? After getting a placement or internship, what CP is building? CP is building a problem solving. As I told you, it is building your problem solving skills. It is building your thinking ability. Okay, and this is what will help you obviously in your job. Maybe it will not help directly. Directly आपसे कोई coding CP क्वेश्चन करवाना नहीं आ रहा है. It will not help you directly. But it will help you indirectly in an indirect way. Okay, and it is helping me. It is helping me, then it will surely help. Your CP skills will surely help you in your different domains. Okay. Next, please. Yeah, people are doing Python codes. Means for competitive coding. The people are doing Python in CP. Means there are some good competitive programmers also, but Python is not a language which is good for CP. It is a problem which is for I think that field, data science, AI/ML. That is good for that. We can do DSA with Python because DSA is involved in ML and AI sometimes. ML it is. But if we talk about CC, Python is not so well known. C plus and Java is good. Okay? CC is useful in what all fields? I told you CP is very useful placement for all the other things. It is a useful. I've told about the usefulness of CP. Why CP? You can just check it out. Okay. Minimum number of questions you recommend us to solve for every topic so that we are well prepared. Minimum numbers you should solve it just till when you are not getting it. अगर आपको एक प्रॉब्लम 10 प्रॉब्लम्स आ रहा है टॉपिक then you can just solve 10 problems. If you are not, you can even solve 50 problems. Thing is, till when you are not getting that problem, it's like that at least you should solve some 10 to 15 problems on each topic. Then you will have a great idea of that, and then you can just solve some random problems sometimes of some topics, sometimes some topics. That will just eventually grow. You will not see a growth in a less time. I have uh, I have seen my growth after 6 months. I have started CP in something last or year September, and I was expert in January. No, in I think in July, and then I got expert in January. So it takes some six months to showcase your growth. तुरंत नहीं होता है, time लगता है. Practice करते रहो. It's like that you are improving or not. The most important thing is improvement. If improvement is there, if you are feeling that I am improving, that's the most important thing. That you are improving. Okay, that's the most important thing.
Okay, so here we can end it out session. So on behalf of the Mozilla Firefox Club members and all the participants, I sincerely thank you, Mr. Abhinav, for inspiring our young minds and giving us the correct
Thank
direction to improve our competitive coding skills. Thank you so much for the wonderful session.
thank you very much. Welcome.